Today I'm speaking with DaynBenson. Dayn's been a franchise executive for 19 years. Dayn, can you share a little bit about what brought you to trying the team's SEO services?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So in my experience as a franchisor, I've run a couple different companies. One was a little bit smaller with 45 or so franchises, and then the next one after that was roughly 100 units. And in franchising, your marketing initiatives are really a collaboration between the parent company and the franchisee. In that respect, we needed SEO and we needed leads. When I found the service, I knew that the parent company could use better positioning in Google and Bing and Yahoo searches. So we engaged to work on our visibility online. That worked very well. It's a little harder to measure. You can do screenshots and see that you came from 10th, 3rd, or something like that. But those things are pretty fluid. But it worked, and we thought for the price compared to other national companies, it was very cost effective. Where the rubber really hit the road was offering lead generation services for our franchisees. And in effect, that looks a lot like what used to be called Service Magic is now called Home Advisor, where they put generic marketing out, and that's really my way of describing what this is, but then you get the leads. So being subscribed to this program, or having our franchisees more specifically subscribe to the program, they were able to get in front of people who were already looking for our products and services. From that aspect, it was incredibly cost effective for our franchisees, and really, I guess the part that I liked the best was it was no risk. We weren't paying for something up front hoping that it worked. What we were doing was paying for actual leads that came into our call center or into our franchisees' offices, and then that was the cost to us. We could convert them. The conversion rates were similar, typically actually a little bit better than direct mail advertising or other advertising sources that we would use. So I'm very happy with the service, and I would recommend it to anybody with a small business or with a large national business like I had been running.
Dayn, about how long did it take for you to notice or for franchisees to start seeing results?
Great question. It depended on the market. Some places there were already initiatives in place, and our franchisees saw leads within, say, 30 to 60 days. In other markets, I understood that things needed to be built out. And so both from the corporate side, where we were looking at improving our rankings, typically that was 4 to 10 months maybe, to really see a sustainable improvement. Every now and then we'd get lucky in a search term or something, but generally speaking, I'd say 4 to 10 months. And then at a local level with our franchisees to actually have the phone ringing, I would conservatively say 6 months, but a lot of markets things happen more quickly than that. But just to I was managing expectations of my franchisees, so I would tell them 6 months.
Dayn, about how many calls were you guys receiving per month?
That's a little harder to give an actual number to, because it ebbs and flows. Kind of a little bit with the season, a little bit with what the news cycle looks like, a little bit just, I think there's some randomness to generating leads from a passive standpoint. We weren't getting in front of people's faces, we were getting in the way of them searching, so they had to search first, and then we were the easiest ones to find, or the lead source was that came to us. I think in general, at a minimum level, our franchisees were getting maybe two phone calls a week, but up to 20 or 30, depending on the market. Higher population bases make a difference, and I've seen a change over the last, say, 8 or 9 years that I've been using the services, in that it's becoming more and more effective, and I think that's just more and more people are using the internet to search for whatever they're going to do, whether it's buying a product or hiring a contractor or even just researching something. It's always been the go-to, but now it's kind of a default. You're not going to make a decision without checking online to see what you're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Google said that now 97% of people will search for a local business online, and like almost 80% of those people are using their phone to do it, which makes sense. When you're thinking about it, you just pick up your cell phone and you research who you're going to call.
I do. I knew I was going to Starbucks really early this morning, and I still searched to make sure they were open.
Yes. They said 70-some% of people search for known businesses. So just like you, they're like, well, when is it open?
Yep.
With those calls, were they turning into paying clients for your franchisees?
Yeah, absolutely. And it very much mimicked other marketing that I was doing as far as the results, the return on investment, and everything else. What I liked best, and I don't mean to be redundant, but there was no risk.
Mm-hmm.
If the phone didn't ring, I wasn't paying anything. If it did ring, I had the opportunity to earn and generate profit.
Mm-hmm. So is it your belief that the services were very cost-effective?
Oh, yeah. I would wholeheartedly always have our franchisees doing it. I would strongly endorse it and have them do it if I were a franchisee. So if I needed the phone to ring, I would use it. But it absolutely, as long as you're trying to get new customers, this is a fantastic way to do it.
Perfect. Well, Dane, thank you for everything. I really appreciate you taking the time with me today.
My pleasure. Thanks for letting me tell my story.